So if you clicked on this video, you might be thinking whether you should go to university for software engineering in the UK or not. Now, since I am in my first year of computer science in the UK, I'll just give you a bit of information about what you can expect and what kind of modules you might go through. So firstly, I'll begin with the University of Bradford, which is where I'm at right now. I've mentioned it in one of my other videos, but the first year for computer science, cybersecurity and software engineering were all the same, so we covered the same modules and assignments and coursework. Now, this will of course differ from universities, so I'd honestly advise you to research the university you're going to and the modules you might cover in your first year, and use it to your advantage. Go out of your way to revise and look up the topics beforehand. So the first year was split into 2 semesters with 3 modules each, and in the first semester we covered mathematics for computing, technical and professional skills, and the fundamentals of programming. The fundamentals of programming was one of the best modules I had in my first year. We were introduced to programming in Java using Apache NetBeans, and we were taught using a bunch of lectures and lab sessions where we'd implement the things we learned at the lectures. So when I did start, I had no experience coding, but it wasn't too hard to pick up the basics like loops and arrays, and then we later moved on towards objects and methods, constructors, and inheritance. Now, just because I cover Java, it doesn't mean you will. I'm pretty sure the language you cover depends on the university you go to. So if you can find out what language you're using, just get some research in and I guess practice. For that module we had to make a 2D game, which was pretty cool. So we had to program the basic functionality of the game and then the GUI. There were times when the module was pretty difficult, and it definitely wasn't the easiest of all my modules. But it was the one where I felt like I learned the most and picked up some new skills. If you have got some background in coding, then I wouldn't worry too much about your first year. People do say it's easy, but I still get some practice in and make sure you're prepared for when you do start. So your second year will also be split into 2 semesters with 3 modules each. You'll cover database systems, data structures and algorithms, and artificial intelligence in your first semester. And then in your second semester you'll cover system security management, enterprise pro, computer communication and networks. You can see how some of your modules might be based around business and how software engineering might look in a professional environment. There is a lot of planning and documentation needed when you're creating software, and you'll also have to think about the user's needs or the client's needs when you're designing the interface. Now, your third year can either be your final year as usual, so you'd cover different modules and a final year project, or you can go to a university where they offer placements and opportunities to study abroad. So when you are choosing a university to go to, make sure there's something in place for you to take placements and gain experience in the real world. Everyone talks about how important experience is when it comes to getting a job in tech and computer science. So yeah, internships and placements are really important. So in your final year, you'll definitely cover a final year project. I'm not too sure if you get to choose your final year project or whether the project is just assigned to you. But regardless, I've seen students make different types of mobile applications, computer games and eye tracking software. You'll also have 2 other core modules, so in this case you can see you've got large-scale data-driven applications and software system design and testing. You'll also have some optional modules like mobile application development, numerical methods and computer graphics, machine learning, concurrent and distributed systems, and the principles of security technologies. So throughout the 3 years you will cover different languages like Java, C#, C and Objective-C. There are also some universities who do a lot with C++. So I am going to end the video here for today. If you did have any questions for me, just leave them in the comments and I'll try and make a video on them. You can find more information about my first year on my website. I'll leave a link in the description box.